Hi, my name is Komal and I'm going to talk about eBall. eBall is a computer which is invented recently and it is mostly still in concept. The research about it is still going on. So it is not yet launched in the market. So I can't really show you how the device is, but I will take you through the features and advantages and disadvantages of this latest technology. This video is for my college seminar and I'm doing a technology. eBall is like it is just like any other computer. It is better than a tablet. It's not like a smartwatch, but it is very small in size. But before we look at eBall, we will see the history of computers to see the timeline of computers and where we began and now where we stand and how amazing innovation is. Okay, so now we are going to talk about history of computers. Now computers were originally invented to compute things, which means it was used for mathematical calculations which were too difficult for human beings to do too fast. So before computers were invented, humans were used as computers. They were supposed to calculate mathematical stuff. So after computers came, this role was eliminated totally. The first computer which was invented, which was never finished, was analytic engine. It was invented by this person who is Charles Babbage. This is how the machine looked. It actually took an entire building and it was too huge and it was very costly, but it never finished. So after this, Charles Babbage went ahead and invented this, which is ENIAC. It is the first digital computer. It was invented in 1946, and this is the first generation of computers, which began in 1931 and it came to an end in 1956. Now, the second generation of computers was way easier, but this first generation of computers took a lot of people to handle. It was very difficult to maintain. Generally, two or more people had to be present for the working of the computer on daily basis. Even to calculate small things, you had to change many patch codes, you had to change the position of many wires, and it took an entire room or even more than that. So it was basically very difficult to handle. And then it took a lot of intelligence for the people who worked to create it and to maintain it. Now, this is how the second generation of computer looked. I know it looks very big compared to the computers we have now, but in that time it was actually a very big invention. This second generation of computers started from 1956 and it went on till 1963. They used transistors instead of vacuum tubes. And the transistors were invented just right before 1956 and then it was used in computers. This computer is called UNIVAC. It is a very important part of second generation computers. So this is what UNIVAC looked like. UNIVAC was in second generation and it was a very important part of this generation. It was used for a very long time in second generation. After second generation came the third generation. Third generation used IC chips, which means they were integrated chips. Integrated chips have transistors, resistors and capacitors all on one chip. So that's why it was called integrated chip, and this was used from 1964 to 1971. After 1971 was the fourth generation of computers, which is what is used by us right now. The systems which we use are still fourth generation. It's been going on from 1971 till now. It uses microchips basically, which is even smaller than integrated chips. That's why the computers nowadays are getting smaller and smaller, and they use microchips. This is what a fourth generation uh, system looks like. This is third generation system. It looks like this, and after this is fourth generation, and fourth generation are what we generally use. The PCs we use, the laptops, the tablets, everything come under fourth generation. This is what a fourth generation computer initially looked like. This is like a bit bigger than what we have right now. This all, as you can see, it has a keyboard and a screen just like what the systems we use right now. It's just this is bigger in size, and then came the thin LCD screen systems. This is a bit modern compared to the previous pic. This is how the systems look right now, and they are continuously evolving. The screen is becoming thinner, the CPU is becoming smaller, and the keyboards are becoming smaller. And now we have laptops, which everything in one. So this table sums up the entire evolution of electronic computers. It started from first generation where vacuum tubes were used and they used to fill up the whole building. Then came the second generation which used transistors and it filled only half the room. Then came third generation which used IC chips which had a transistor, resistor and capacitor, and they were way smaller. They were almost the size of our present computers. Then came the fourth generation which used microchips. Microchips had millions of transistors in them, and they are very tiny in size. They are we have sizes ranging from supercomputers which are huge to sizes ranging to laptops, and there are notepads, and we have some computer like devices like tablets. So we have a huge range of variety in size, and they are very flexible and compatible, and it has become really easy to carry them around. So this is what e-ball looks like. It is a very small sphere. It is like you can hold it in your palm. It's that small, and this is going to act as an entire computer system which we generally use. So this is the person who invented e-ball. He came up with the concept and design of e-ball. His name is Apostol Nokoski. He is an Macedonian product designer, and he comes up with very unique and inventive designs. He has even designed many other technologies just like this. So this entire concept is his idea. Now let's talk about the size of e-ball. How much do you think the diameter of this sphere would be? The diameter is actually 6 inch, and it has 120 to 120 millimeter motherboard. So since this is a sphere, to keep it on a normal flat surface, you need stands. So the stands also are inbuilt. You just have to click on two sides. There is a button on both the sides of the sphere. When you click those buttons, the stand come out, and you can keep it on the stand. And then for turning it on, you have to press the power button for 5 seconds. The power button is right on top. And then after that, you have to adjust the LCD projector. Now as you can see, it doesn't have a screen. There is no screen attached to this computer. So it is going to project a screen either on a wall in front, or if there is no wall, we will later see how it works out. So it's going to project the screen wherever as and when you want. After that, there is even a attached mouse to the e-ball. You can just remove the mouse clicking on one button, and you can start using the mouse. So there is only one component which is detachable, that is the mouse. And after that, there is a keyboard. Since you can see there is no keyboard also, so keyboard too gets projected. We will see more about the keyboard later. But for now, let's know that this is the virtual keyboard. And once the mouse is out, and once the screen is projected and the keyboard is projected, your computer is ready for use. So this is how your computer looks when you are using an e-ball and when it's ready for use. As you can see, there is no display unit, so the screen is projected on the wall in front. For projecting the keyboard, you need a flat surface, so it's projected on a flat surface, and the mouse is detached and it's kept in the corner. You can just use this for any purpose now, just like any normal computer. So this is how ideally e-ball will look with its screen and its keyboard projected. But what if there is no wall to project the screen on? In that case, there is an inbuilt feature inside e-ball itself which will help you project the screen. This is in fact a stand. The stand is inbuilt in the e-ball. You just click a button and the stand comes out, and you can put a plain white sheet of paper on that stand, and then later that stand will act like a wall or something to project the screen on. So if you are sitting in a park, or if you are sitting anywhere, like suppose you're sitting on a mountain or anywhere you go, you can still project the screen and still use e-ball. You don't really need a wall in front always. So this just adds up to the amazing features it already has. So now we'll see what are elements an e-ball has and how it looks from different views. So this is the entire view. This is the front view, this is the side view, and this is back view of the e-ball. Now you can see this is a LCD projector. It will project on the opposite side. Then this is the keyboard. So the keyboard will be projected somewhere here. Then this is the status display. This is for navigation of the projector. Then these are HD recorder and DVD recorder and DVD buttons. This is the switch. If you click on this, then this optical mouse will be detached. This mouse can be used by keeping it next to the e-ball. Then this is the stand. Now, why do you need a stand to keep the e-ball on a flat surface? Because since it's a sphere, you need something to keep it in place. So this is the stand. On each side there are two stands. So this is also a stand. And over here we have audio ports. These are the USB ports. Now again, this is the side view now. This is the speaker. This is the LCD projector. These are again the stands from side view. This is the paper holder, which is used when there is no wall in front. So this is what is used. And you can see there are so many ports, and this is the monitor port, this is the video port, power port, LAN port for putting the LAN wire. So it has all the ports which is normal system has, normal computer has. It has USB ports, audio, video, speaker, LAN port, DVD recorder, and so basically it has all the features of a normal computer system. Now let's talk about the features of e-ball. As you have seen the elements already, let's just talk more about it. So it contains a mouse. You saw there's a virtual laser keyboard. Then there's a screen. That's normal. After that, it has a hard disk drive. That hard disk drive is approximately 350 to 600 GB. Then it has a 5 GB RAM. It has 50-watt speakers. It has a LAN and LAN. As you can see, there's a LAN port over here. It has a LAN and LAN card and webcam. It has dual core processor, which is it might not be that much used nowadays, but it is useful when the computer is this small. And it has a graphic card and a sound card, and it has a paper holder for a screen. So it has a lot of features. It looks very small, but it actually has a lot of features. So this video of that of a e-ball, but I just wanted to show how a general virtual keyboard projector works. So this is a device which projects a virtual keyboard, and you are going to see the changes reflected in the phone. Now, as you can notice, there is a flat surface on which the keyboard has to be projected. Because if it's not a flat surface, it won't work exactly how you want it to. And you can see the changes reflected in the phone now. And we'll get into the technical aspect of a virtual keyboard after we see this video. So now a virtual keyboard is a keyboard which is projected on any flat surface, and it uses artificial intelligence and principle of sensor to project the keyboard and get the image of what the user is typing. It has certain qualities. It is basically in e-ball, the virtual keyboard is a small Java application, which means it's just a small code and you can modify it according to your convenience. And it lets you easily create text content on almost any existing platform and output it directly to web pages. Now the features of the keyboard in eBall can be platform independent multilingual support for keyboard text input, built-in language layouts and settings, copy paste, operation support just as in regular text editor, already existing system language settings, they remain intact, and you can easily change your language because since it's just a small Java code. Now suppose you have a hardware keyboard in your computer or your laptop. If you want to change the language, you'll have to probably replace the keyboard or the keys of the keyboard with another language, just so you know which language which letter is which alphabet in that language. But if you're using a keyboard of eBall, it's just a small Java code, so you can just change the language easily by modifying the code, and you don't have to really replace any hardware. So it is way easier to do that rather than changing the entire hardware. So there are certain advantages to using virtual keyboard. It is very portable. You can carry it around. It is very accurate. While using normal keyboard, you might have some difficulty, but this is on a flat surface, so you are literally just keeping your hands on a flat surface and using it. Mm, the speed of text entry is increased because you don't really press any buttons actually. Then you are able to minimize the risk of strain injuries, and it is very flexible. So whenever we press a button in the e-ball for the keyboard, it is projected on the flat surface. As the user touches the any key in the keyboard, the e-ball detects the user's movements, and it sends the information back to the e-ball about which button has been clicked. Now let's see how this whole mechanism works by seeing the components of the virtual keyboard. So the virtual keyboard comprises of three modules: a sensor module, IR light source, and the pattern projector. The sensor module serves as the eyes of the keyboard perception technology. The sensor module operates by locating the user's fingers in 3D space and tracking the intended keystrokes. Then comes the IR light source. The infrared light source emits a beam of infrared light. The light beam is designed to overlap the area on which the keyboard pattern projects. This helps in recognizing the hand movements and the pressing of keys. An invisible infrared beam is projected above the virtual keyboard. So when the user makes any clicks on any keystroke, the IR light ray will break, and this will be reflected back to the e-ball. When the IR light ray is reflected back to the keyboard, that is detected, and that's how you come to know, depending on the coordinates of and the timing at which it is reflected back, that which key was pressed. Now the pattern projector is the third and last module of the keyboard. This basically presents the image of the keyboard. This image can be projected on any flat surface. The projected image is that of a standard QWERTY keyboard with all the keys and control functions as in the keyboard. So, to sum it up, there is a pattern projector which just lays out the pattern. Then there is an sensor module, and then there is an IR light source. The IR rays are projected on the flat surface along with the pattern projector. And when the IR rays are reflected, they are detected by the sensor module, and then the sensor module declares which key was pressed depending on how fast the IR rays were reflected. So this is about the projection of virtual keyboard and how the whole thing works. Now let's talk about the LCD projector. Now the projector of the screen can be either LCD or DLP. If LCD is projected, it is generally more light efficient than DLP. Three LCD projectors can project bright vivid images with a low output lamp. It's more accurate color, it gives sharper images, and it's more light efficient. Now we have all heard about LCD, but maybe you wouldn't have heard about DLP. So DLP is digital light processing. So DLP is invented in 1987, and it's found in projectors manufactured by BenQ, Infocus, and Optoma. The advantages of DLP over LCD is it is very portable. It has less pixels. So it is reduced pixelation. So when you zoom into an image, you won't see as many pixels. So the image will still be clearer when you are zooming in. Then there is higher contrast. It's more reliable. So these two are the different kinds of technologies which can be used for LCD projector. So these are the times you can actually use an e-ball. You can use it for when you're working in office like any other computer. You can use it for watching movies, for listening to music, since it has speakers. You can use it for chatting, you can use it for browsing. Most importantly, you can use it for video presentations. This is very big advantage, because generally for presentations you need a projector and the screen to project it on. But when you use an e-ball, you don't need an extra projector. You can just have this one thing and you can use it as a projector and as a computer. So it is a very big advantage, because you can, in this way, you can present it anywhere. You don't need a projector to present in front of a big audience. You can just use an e-ball. So another advantage of software interface of e-ball is it is highly stylized, and it has icons that can be easily remembered, and it uses Windows operating system. Since most of the general public uses Windows operating system, they can get used to the UI of eBall very easily too. So let's talk about the advantages of eBall. It is very small, so you can roam around with it. You don't really need a big bag as we need right now for laptops. It's easy to carry around, so you can be flexible with it. It has a large memory. It is used for making video presentation because it eliminates the use of projectors. They have greater speed and it supports user-defined keyboard layout. So if you want to use your keyboard in a different language, you just have to change a small part of a small code. You don't really have to change the hardware as you would be required to do in the keyboards we use currently in laptops or in personal computers. It does have some disadvantages. Now, the concept for eBall which has come up that uses only Windows OS, so you can't use an Linux or Unix or any other operating system for eBall. Since it's a new concept, there is research still going on, so the cost of it is very high. And it's a very small hardware in which the whole features are fit in, so it is very complex, the whole hardware part, and so if there is any problem in the hardware, it is very difficult to understand which part is creating the problem. So that can be a disadvantage, but they are working on it, and it will be improved in future. So if you think that the tablet is also very similar to a computer and is small in size, then why is eBall such an important innovation? Then I would like to point out that tablet is not actually similar to computer as much as you think. Tablet doesn't have a keyboard, it doesn't have a mouse, it doesn't even have an operating system of a computer. It has an OS of a smartphone. It has way lesser memory and for editing stuff, for word processing, for number crunching and all, it would be easier to use a computer-like device or a computer rather than using a tablet. It doesn't even connect to a LAN port. Tablet generally connects to a Wi-Fi. Whereas if you look in eBall, it has all these features. It has a LAN port, it has a mouse, a keyboard, everything, whatever a computer has. So eBall is definitely a very important innovation in computer world. So in this video we have seen the history of computers, how it all began, the person who invented the first digital computer, how it started from first generation and how it reached the fourth generation which we are using right now. We have seen that the size of the computers is becoming smaller, they are becoming faster, there's new invention and innovation happening every single day, and some of them actually reach the market also, which reaches the general public like us. So there's a lot of innovation going on in this field. A lot of features are getting added to the computers every single year, and the technology which we are experiencing right now is at its peak compared to where we started, because the people who invented the first computers would have never thought that there would actually be a computer which we could roam around with it in our bag. I'm talking about laptops, and the computers were like the size of whole buildings and whole rooms, and now we are reaching a point where we are inventing computers of size which could fit in our pockets. There's new innovation happening every day. Our imagination is actually becoming reality. Once which people thought that it might not never come true, it's actually coming true. Like there are people trying to invent to project holograms and stuff like that. There is another similar technology like eBall, that is 5-pen PC technology. It uses Wi-Fi to connect to the net. It has a CPU. It has all the features of a computer. That also projects a virtual keyboard and LED screen. It is very similar to eBall. So in conclusion, I would just like to say that if eBall reaches the market, if it actually comes into picture, it will be a very big it will be a very big leap for the computer world and would actually be touching new horizons. I'm also attaching a small questionnaire along with this video. The questions are all about whatever you have learned in this video, so do have a look at it.